Alright, so you pick new game, set tutorial to off, and as you choose the gold selection, that's when the timer starts. Now skip the cutscenes and swap to the Royal Guard style immediately. The first thing you're gonna do is do not touch the left stick immediately, just wait a moment and then move to the left so you're properly aligned for the first gold release. And here you can see the timing, it's basically right as you're about to get hit. Then you get the red orb prompt, you move next to this pool table, taunt, and then do the second gold release. And you basically have to taunt before you use lock on, otherwise it may mess up. After that you will use Rebellion combo 1 on these 4 prides, and then the first lust spawns, and you're gonna do 1-2, 1-2, high time, helm breaker, 1-2, guard cancel the last hit, and then taunt. And after that you're gonna move close to the middle, you're gonna align yourself like this to get the third gold release. And in slow motion you can see the alignment isn't that important, but I would say the speed is important. Then you just do 1-2, 1-2, a high time helm breaker, and after that you align for the fourth release like that. You kill 2 prides with that. Then you kill the third one with Rebellion combo 1, kill this last and this pride, taunt, then do a million stab. Optimally you will get all 3 enemies right here next to the wall, and then combo and kill them. 1, 2, 3 on the pride, and then combo the last like this and taunt. And make sure you get all the orbs from the enemies, as well as if you break any props you have to get those orbs as well, otherwise the mission will not end until the orbs disappear, and that is a huge waste of time. One thing I forgot to mention are the enemy Despawns, and they basically happen when you occupy the same area, or I guess hit blocks, as the enemy, and the game will just make the enemy disappear. As you can see right here when I'm about to attack the lust. It mostly happens when you attack as they are spawning, like right next to them. And they're most common in mission 1, 11, 12 and 14 when you are on the Temperance wagon. And they basically only happen on the Hells, but even the Hell Vanguard can disappear just like that, saving a significant amount of time. And this is my gold M1 being 102, and it's just the one despawn on the last made such a big difference. And here's Rajcast getting the mission 2 Hell Vanguard despawn, which saves like 18 seconds, and I've never gotten it except when he has been at very low health, so it didn't matter anyway. An important thing to note is that you need the S rank from both missions 1 and 2 to be able to afford Stinger 2 at the start of mission 3, and for this you need to be fast enough, have a high stylish rank and orbs collected, as well as little to no damage, especially in mission 1. If you take a direct hit in mission 1, you have to have a very high stylish rank and orb count, otherwise you will not get the S. And obviously it's a waste of time, because you're going to have to, use more moves to be stylish instead of less, so you're wasting time because you just took a hit. In mission 2 the game is a lot more lenient on that. Okay, let's not miss the release now. The start of mission 2 is the same as once, so you wait a while, then you put the left stick like down right, and then when you see Dante's right foot on the third tile from the door opening, you do a gold release. You kill 3 prides with that. Then you kill the other 2 and taunt. Next, move in front of this lust and do a million stab. Don't make it too long, just try to hit as many enemies as possible, and this way the stylish rank will go up faster, and the million stab will also knock the enemies to the back of the room. And that's the main idea here, is to keep them pinned against the wall so you can wail on them, but don't do the Rebellion combo 1 out in the open, because otherwise you're gonna be running after the enemies. So you just do 1-2s and maybe high time and helm breaker when you're about to finish them off. And if the chance presents itself, parry and or release. But you should only release if there's like 2 or more enemies next to each other, so you can get more damage in. And if you get a parry, then use it on the lusts instead of the prides. If you get many enemies next to each other against the wall, then just spam combo 1 to get multiple hits on them. Next up, you're gonna have to shoot this Wrath, and you're gonna do 10 shots with Ebony and Ivory, and then right after the 10th you parry. And you cannot do this with the shotgun or the spiral. So with this you get a royal release, and now you're gonna do a gold release here. You can taunt before it, but you have to target the pride, and if they are not close enough, I'm unsure of the exact position where you should be to always get all of them, but yeah, that one lost can survive it. Then you just optimally you would wait until the last lost will spawn before making the second Wrath explode and parry it. The Hell Vanguard is the first boss, and he's very simple. He will usually try to attack you with his scythe. He can block your attacks, and he can also do this teleporting attack, which is either horizontal or vertical, but that is very rare on normal. As long as you stay within like a fairly close distance to him, he will basically never do it. And if you just mash attack over and over, that will prompt him to block, and you don't really want that. So if he teleports from a bit further away, then you should run up to him and start hitting him. The way the fight usually goes is you run up to him, attack him once, and this will initiate a clash, which is also known as an auto parry. If you keep attacking him, he will gain the frame advantage and eventually hit you. So you're basically supposed to parry the attack that he does. He will only do one attack if you clash. Then you're just gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then you're gonna you can either hold lock on and spam, because you will always go to where he is, but if he's far away, then you won't hit him and he'll probably start blocking. And you should just run up to him and keep attacking him. If he clashes again, just parry it. And then when you have full level 1 Royal Guard, do a gold release on the next clash. Here is a very good Vanguard fight. I already have the release from the Wrath, so I just go for a gold release. And then I just keep spamming combo 1, and once you spam enough, he will get staggered. And in this fight he is also extremely passive, and he basically, yeah, there's one block. But yeah, you can see how there can be very different fights. Now you're gonna buy Stinger 2. If you can't afford it, simply buy the first one and then the second one right before Cerberus. And from now on throughout the entire run you're gonna be Stinger cancelling. So just Stinger cancel into the bar, and then right through here, break these objects and activate the wheel. Next, Stinger to the door, and you'll automatically get the shotgun. And now in this bar fight there will be 10 enemies, 3 sloths and 4 prides. And the first ones that will spawn are the 3 sloths, and you're gonna have to parry twice. After that, shotgun or Stinger the first sloth in front of you into the door, because the door has this hand that will come out when you're close enough to it, and it will try to attack you, and you can parry the hand. That is what you should do. You can also go for gold releases on the hand, or the attacks that the sloths do. If you manage to get 2 or 3 of them close to each other, especially near the door, then just spam combo 1 and go for releases. But normally you're just gonna have to guard cancel the shotgun, because that's the fastest way to dispose of them. And make sure that you don't just knock them away too far, because otherwise you're gonna have to be running after them. Bear in mind the sloths can sometimes teleport to the balcony, and they will basically not come down from there, so you're forced to go and fetch them. But when you come here to the middle, just stinger the prides. 2 stingers will kill them, and then pin these sloths next to the walls, and go for gold releases if the chance presents itself. If you're far away from the door, you can just ride your way back there, but obviously it's better if you get lucky and the enemies will like come to you, and you may be able to knock them to the wall or to the door. But even then the prides will walk towards you very slowly, so it's just better to go and kill them. Every orb that you will pick up for the first time will give you a prompt, so the red, green, and white orbs. And there's a green orb on top of the balcony that you can get from underneath it by just jumping. If you're low on health, you can take it, but there's another one outside, so it doesn't really make a difference. Once outside, break this dumpster for orbs, then stinger to the first orb ore. This is the first of the 3 that you're gonna be getting, and with Rebellion, you just spam combo 1. The optimal way to break this is to first do a stinger, and then 8 combo 1s. After that, do a short hop, and then you will pick up 1000 orbs from a hidden cache. And then just stinger to Cerberus. There's orbs on top of the sign on the left as well as on the right wall, but you don't really need them. And the reason I spam a lot when attacking the orb ore with Rebellion is because I want to reduce the recovery time of the attacks as much as possible, so I can get all the attacks in, because even missing a couple of attacks can severely drop the amount of orbs that you get from an ore. So I use 2 index fingers to tap quickly because it's less strenuous, especially when staying still, than just mashing it with my thumb, like when I do in mission 1 and 2, because I'm using million stab in combat. Now we get to the fun part of this mission, Cerberus. He is by far the most luck-based boss, because he has 9 different moves. They have sort of different properties when he is in phase 1 and phase 2, as well as a couple more things. Let's go through his moves first. This is called the skating rink, where he breathes ice on the ground, and if you get caught in it, you will get frozen in place and you will also take damage. The ideal way to avoid this is to parry it, but I find the timing is very awkward, so I just roll guard it and keep holding guard. And you can also dodge it by just jumping and spamming Ebony and Ivory, or doing a wall jump and doing the same thing, but I don't recommend that because you're missing out on the guard. And if you stay to his other side where he ends the attack, then you should be able to avoid it as long as you stay close to his heads. You can also just run away from it, however you shouldn't do that. And in second phase it will cover a much larger area. He has a headbutt, and after he does it, he will always change his heads clockwise, and it does more damage and is faster in phase 2, just like every other move of his. And in the phase 2, you should always go for the gold release on that headbutt if you can. He also has a bite attack, which is very similar to the headbutt. It has a slightly different timing, I would say, but he does it very rarely. Crystal Geyser is a move that goes in a straight line on the ground, and he can do it with either of his paws. I suggest you roll guard it for safety, and it basically has 2 hits, so even if you guard the first hit, if there's an icicle next to you, then you will probably need to guard just a bit more. Icicle Rain is by far the worst move he has, because you cannot hit his heads during it. You can try to hit his paws, but then the icicles will fall on top of you, and they basically fall in a random order and pattern, and even if you look at the ground to see where they fall, not all of them will fall down there. He can do this many times in a row, enough to just kill the run outright. The preferred way to avoid this is to just like run against him a little and then to the left. Bark a Glacier is an ice shot that he will shoot at you when you're at a certain distance. He can do it when you're up close as well, but you can just stand next to him and wail on him. If you break it or guard it, then it will give you red or green orbs. And in phase 2 it will shoot 3 ice shots. Man's best friend is a leaping attack that he basically only does when you're far away from him. However, in the second phase it is extremely fast and you should always avoid it. You can just roll guard it, but the timing is kind of difficult, as you can see here. And there's what I call a lead glitch that happens most often after you've already died to him once. I think it has something to do with the dynamic difficulty, but it can happen when you fight him for the first time too, except it's much rarer. I have a feeling it happens more often on the left side, which is why I stay there. And when it happens, then the startup of the attack is very long and he will withdraw much slower, allowing you to hack away like 80% of his health and then stun him, so he basically never gets to do anything. I would be very pleased if someone found a consistent way to get it. He can swipe with his paws. The right paw will always do 2 longer reaching and slower attacks, whereas the left one will do either 1 or 2 quick ones. You should roll guard this just to be safe, but you can guard this while standing still as well. You can also get a gold release on it, which is recommended especially in phase 2. The left paw seems to have a different hitbox at times, like with the same distance you might get hit or you might just avoid it. He can shake his heads, sometimes many times in a row, and it lets you get free hits in. It does no damage to you, but once he lifts his heads up you cannot hit him. He can also swap his heads clockwise at any point. The last 2 moves are Million Carrots and Ice Age. Million Carrots happens when he has about 70% of his health left. He will rise up on his back legs and strike on the ground, creating a big explosion. You can roll guard this or just stand your ground. It is the most damaging move that he has, and you can sneak a taunt in right as he's doing it, but make sure you parry it. Right after that he will do Ice Age, with which he'll recover his ice armor. So once he does that, just start gutting him down. So here you can see it in action. First you stinger to him, shotgun the eyes off of all of his heads. Here I get lucky when he rotates his heads, so it's easier to shoot the eyes off. And as you can see, he can move a bit left or right. You have to follow him, otherwise you will hit the paws. And if you hit the paws, you will get the stun easier, but hitting the paws does less damage, so it's better to actually just keep hitting his heads and go for the stun. And you need to stun him to have a good fight, because you get so much free damage during it. And any releases you get, you should use them on the second phase, because then you will get to end the fight much faster. Then just stinger to the end. Getting an S rank in this mission is not mandatory, but having it doesn't hurt. Getting an S in mission 3 is very difficult because you basically need to not get hit and also have a high style. First thing in mission 4 is to hold the left stick down left, and then when Dante starts facing the right direction, stinger twice. Then do 2 wall jumps right here and stinger to this blue door. And in this corridor you wanna stinger the first pride, jump on top of him to ride him, and then spam Ebony and Ivory a bit, because that will make you go further. You can enter the door without doing it, but it's kind of a fail-safe, so there's really no reason in not doing it. And starting from this mission, you're gonna be facing a lot of different camera angles. For the most part, the camera angles in this game are very good, so you don't really need to adjust the camera yourself. Sometimes you even cannot do it, but you just have to learn where they are, how they are like, and when will they change, because then you will be able to do the correct movement more easily. So the living statue room is a room you're gonna have to do 3 times throughout the course of this run, but in this mission you first enter it, run a bit, stinger 3 times, and when you hit the Enigma, slash once, roll guard, and then 1, 2, do a Helmbreaker on this one, 1, 2, 3, then either Helmbreaker or stinger, slide, and Helmbreaker, and then finish that thing off. Jump here, 1, 2, 3, 1, stinger down, Helmbreaker, and optimally you'd go for a gold release like this, but that usually isn't the case, and most likely 2 lusts will never attack you at the same time. Then optimally either switch cancel with Rebellion and Cerberus, or shotgun or stinger the lusts to the middle part, so you can easily shotgun cancel them and the other lusts will try to attack you there as well. Then go to the right, and then Helmbreaker the left Enigma, 1, 2, 3, 1 the other, then 1, 2, jump and do a Helmbreaker. And this is because the aerial death animation of the Enigma is faster, so it lets you out of the room quicker. In this room, break the chess pieces on top of the elevator, activate the elevator by hitting the wheel, and then break the last one here for extra orbs, and then do a wall jump to get to the next area quicker. So first you stinger in between these two pieces, attack this one 1, 2, 3 like that, 1, 2 and 1, 2, 3. Then stinger to the wheel, then do 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here I didn't do the second Cerberus attack, which is why I didn't activate it right there. Then stinger to this chest piece, break it for the orbs. There's also an optional orb ore there, and if you're gonna get it, then please use switch cancelling on it to get more orbs, but you don't need it optimally. Once on the elevator, wait until the left side of it touches this line, as I'm about to show you right here, and then jump, shoot and jump. And shooting whilst jumping will get you a little bit of extra height. This room has the first instance of cutscene movement at the beginning. Then you're gonna kill 2 gluttonies, and then stinger here to knock this gluttony against the door. The other ones will almost always jump down with you, but if they don't, then that's very bad, because you basically have to fetch them back down or just kill them up there. The slots can do the same thing, where they just keep teleporting there instead of coming down to you. And you want to go for gold releases, or at least parries with the door, and then just keep shotgun cancelling. For the cutscene movement, do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then on the third, skip the cutscene, stinger 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now stinger to the corridor, and then just keep shotgun cancelling them. The other gluttonies will basically drop behind you, and they will try to do their sand breath attacks, so you want to stop that. It can be a nuisance because some of them can block each other, and they can just attack through each other. There's no friendly fire for them. And then the sloths, you want to also make sure they get to the door. Don't knock them away from the door, because that's just a huge waste of time. And right here you're gonna see a gold release on the hand, just like this. There's a vital star on top of the door in a small opening, and you can get that if you want, don't really need it. Enter the door, then stinger to the second level here and enter the door. Then stinger to the middle of these stairs as they break, and Helmbreaker down. And then this pit fight is a very crazy party, because it basically never goes the same way. Unfortunately, I haven't found any way to really make this consistent. There's just a few things that I always do, and then after that you just have to like adapt to how the enemies are acting. So first off, shotgun this lost against the wall, then destroy the wrath and parry it. Then do 1, 2, 3, and 1. Then usually I would go for this sloth that is sitting in the middle of the room, but in this one I decided to go for that one and use the release, because there's gonna be 3 wraths, and the last one's release you want to save up for the boss. There's the other one. Also shotgun these, at least the sloths next to the wraths, so that they take the damage from the explosion. The lusts are very aggressive in this room, and they can just hit you from off screen, and you know, situations like this will happen. You can also try to shotgun the lusts against the walls, so you can obviously shotgun cancel them easier and get the wraths to explode on them, but you don't have much time to do that. Usually one of them is gonna get up in that time, and then just exit the room. Next up is Fuckface, in my opinion the worst boss in this route, because he's very random, and even though there exists a 2 cycle, it is completely luck based. I basically do a set of moves the same way every time, but it will basically always give a different result, so you can just react to that. But the main point is that it should always be at least 3 cycles, so he goes inside the holes, comes out, and then comes out one more time. So first stinger slide off, Helmbreaker, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and if you can 1, 2, but if he does the electricity like this, it means he's gonna flip, so you're gonna wall jump there. then do some switch cancelling, maybe a revolver. Doesn't really matter, even though Gigapede is weak to Cerberus, he doesn't really take much more damage from it. And right here, as he's at the apex of that turn, do the release, but don't do it too early or do any other attacks too early, otherwise he will just flip around and you'll fall off, and that basically kills the regular 3 cycle. And once he goes in one more time, he'll come out, he'll start shooting the orbs, and you can usually use a revolver to just knock them easily back at him, which does the most damage to him, or you can cancel Rebellion, but I suggest just using the revolver. When you hit it enough, it will screech and then start going really fast and do the flips. Then just wait until he comes out and wall jump on top of his head, and then do revolver. Here is the elusive 2 cycle, and I believe I've only gotten this once in an actual run. In practice I've gotten it more times than that, but I don't think it has anything to do with dynamic difficulty. But as you can see, the beginning is basically the same, but then he comes out, he's very slow, and then I wait a bit to start hitting him. He starts instantly shooting the balls, then I just deflect them back like that. He takes insane damage from it, and I get to finish him there. Then just enter the door and stinger to the astronomical board. Mission 5 is fairly long because it has 2 bosses and a lot of running around. The mission starts with Blood Girl fight. You want to attack this Blood Girl right here. Just shoot and 1, 2, 3. You don't need to cancel the shot. But make sure that you're close enough, because if you're not, otherwise you will not turn them into stone. And if you hit them when they're in their neutral state, then they will most certainly divide, and if the big blood girls get to divide, both of them will have the big one's health. And it is good practice to kill the big ones first. So you can do like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or switch cancel it a bit. Doesn't really make a difference from what I can tell. If they charge at you, try to parry it. And if the big ones are far away, then you can spam Ebony and Ivory like crazy, or try to stinger to them without touching them to shotgun them. But other than that, it's a very luck-based fight, unfortunately. Next up is Jester. It's a pretty simple fight. First you just spam Ebony and Ivory to make him vulnerable in the phase before he actually does any attacks. Just stinger to him and switch cancel. Then he can do one of 3 moves. This is called the circus. He'll teleport to the middle of the arena and make these balls spawn in a circular motion. And you can get like 2 easy parries here, so you should always go for them, even though sometimes the balls are at the slightly different trajectory, so you might not get them. After that, just repeat the gun spam, stinger to him, switch cancel, and use the release. He also has the overhead balls, which are quick balls that come right from top of him. And the optimal way to do the fight is to obviously get the overhead balls so you can get the parry, and then the circus so you can release and get another parry for the release. Then he has the random pattern, which is the worst because you really cannot tell where the balls are gonna come out from, and they will just keep ricocheting around the arena and come back to hit you in the back. So that's just what you don't want, but you have no control over that, unfortunately. Then stinger to the teleport and wall jump up here, and here you can do a stinger slide, just like that. And into this door, and then stinger all the way up here and place the astronomical board. And the thing to note about these text prompts is that you can mash through them faster with a pad than with a keyboard by pressing, well, in this case triangle, so basically cancel. After placing the board, stinger slide and helmbreaker down, and here do a jump where you basically just jump, pull the stick toward yourself and then back away, so you don't have to go all the way down there to do the super jump with the platform. Pick up the Vajra and then go back to the blue door and hitch another ride from the prides. And then we get to the second fight of the living statue room. First talk to this lever and then go pick up this soul of steel, and then just do a stinger slide to the left and then kill the first enigma, then stinger slide to the middle and either switch cancel or I just spam rebellion there, and then jump here, shotgun this gluttony against this door, parry it if you can, then here kill this enigma, then helmbreaker, stinger, 1, 2, and if you have release you can use it on this one, stinger slide all the way here, and then do 1, 2, 3 and then helmbreaker, because that will kill it faster. As you go through this door, hold your stick down and then back to neutral and then down again to get a stinger, so that one of the prides will go behind the others, so you can easily jump on it and ride it. As you come out here, you can sometimes get a stinger slide on the first stinger, but it's fairly rare. Usually it's the second, and if not, then just jump on the edge and do a stinger slide from there. Then helmbreak and guard cancel yourself to get the super jump, and then get to this room, stinger across it, and then place the soul of steel. Then here you can do a stinger slide on this elevator edge here. You can do it on the other side as well, but it's a bit difficult. Then activate the wheel and get on the elevator. On the elevator there will be 4 waves of 4 prides, and you just have to knock them down, but it is advised to combo them a bit and get a high stylish rank, because that will get you about 500 orbs optimally, I would say. And then at the very end you will have to wall jump so you can get out of the elevator ride quicker, just like in mission 4. And you can knock them down with a helmbreaker or stinger, although be careful with that, or a shotgun if you want. You know, if you're trying to not fall down and you're afraid, then just do those. I'm unsure, but I think jumping in the air makes them spawn faster, even though at the end you're gonna have to wait a bit before you do the wall jump to hit the loading trigger for the next area. And so like this, the last wave, wait a bit, jump, shoot, wall jump here. Then do cutscene movement. Also make sure that you got a full release during the elevator ride or before that. Before going into the firestorm chamber, you can get a green orb from the weapons on the right side of the door. Anyway, Agni Rudra is a fairly simple boss, but it really never goes the same way, and I still feel like there's something to improve in it, because it can be quite different, even though you basically do the same thing every time. There's a couple of different ways to go about this, but the basic thing is that you don't want them to combine, and that happens when you kill one of them. The other one will then run to the other side of the room, jump up and initiate a 20-second cutscene, which is unskippable, and after that they will jump down and they will be much more tougher. Agni Rudra have a bunch of different moves, and you don't even need to know most of them because you're not supposed to see them, because you destroy them before they get to use any of those. The fight begins when they run at you, and then they do a dash attack. After that they will just take turns in doing this short length slash. It's slightly different depending on which one does it. They can just block, and the way you break that block is by shooting them once with the shotgun, so that they deflect it, so you hear the clink. Otherwise they might not attack you. And they also can buff their swords, making them a bit faster and stronger, and their attacks may become different. They also have these moves that go on the ground, but you're not supposed to see them, because the point is that you have to stay close to them. You should always have one defenseless on the ground with their weapon knocked away, and then the other one will try to attack you, and then you're supposed to knock off their weapon, and then the other one gets up, and then you just repeat. Never kill them when they have a big difference in their health bars, because then they will go and combine. You can try to stall the combination, but they will do it eventually, and it results in about an 18-second unskippable cutscene, after which they will attack you, and there's a very short window where you can do anything. The dynamic difficulty of this game makes it so that if you lose to them once and go back, then you can use just one release instead of two to knock off their weapons, but it's still obviously slower than just getting it the first time. Once you do enough damage to them, they will run away if they are both on their feet, and then they will do this jumping attack, and you can guard it, but since you don't have a aerial guard yet, it's gonna be a lot tougher. You can gold release through that as well, but the thing is, that's never supposed to happen. It's your fault if they get to run away. From the top, hold lock on Stinger to Rudra, and then go in front of him and cancel the shotgun. Then try to parry Agni's weapon with roll guarding. Then, once they both do their attack, you want to shotgun Agni so that he deflects it, then he will attack. Then you will want to time your release so that you hit him, and then you have to do it again. But you don't want to get a gold release, because then you'll just move behind him and not be able to knock off his weapon quickly. And the reason you attack Agni first is because he will attack you, but Rudra won't. So you can first attack Agni, knock off his weapon, and switch cancel him about 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. 10 to 12. Then knock off Rudra's weapon before Agni gets up. Then shotgun cancel Rudra, because I think he takes more damage from it than switch cancelling Rebellion and Cerberus. You can also use Cerberus revolver to knock off their weapons, but I find the timing extremely difficult, and it's also a bit slower because you're still stuck in the revolver animation when you knock off their weapons, even though it does a little bit of damage. But the good point about that is that you can more easily hit both of their weapons if one is in front of you and one behind you. Also, if you knock off their weapons when they're like next to each other simultaneously, then you should just either spam Rebellion or switch cancel, or you can spam Cerberus as well. I would say switch cancelling is the best. Anyhow, here's a good fight. Stinger, walk in front of Rudra, shotgun, wait for Agni, try to parry. Try to parry Rudra, doesn't work. Also, if you shotgun Agni or Rudra, I think it was 3 times, they will stop their attack, so you should only do it 2 times. There's 2 or 3 times. Anyway, first knock off Agni's weapon, then switch cancel, then knock off Rudra, shotgun cancel, then knock off Agni again, then Rudra, and then you should only need to knock off their weapons 1 more time. Like that. Now they're so close to dying that you can just keep attacking them. And even if they manage to run away at the end when they try to combine, you can just spam shotgun a bit, then Stinger after them, and spam shotgun, because this might prompt them to block instead of jumping up there. So you get another attack you can just release. And if they're at very little health, then you can swap to Ebony and Ivory and just spam like crazy. Then just Stinger to the end. At this point, your Royal Guard should level up, meaning you can store more guards and get a stronger release, as well as do Air Guard and Air